We're just going to play a short video just to showcase some of the work that we've been doing over the last 12 months. And once the video's finished playing, it won't be too long, we're going to start our meeting formally. Okay? So, Mohamed?
We've always felt that the way in which health and care is traditionally delivered just isn't fit for purpose. It's not going to give us what we need for the future. One of the really exciting ways to change that is to move away from the traditional statutory services delivering and instead to work with local people, particularly through the voluntary sector, to make the most of the assets that people have in their lives. We've got 3 work streams which we set up. The first one is about funding and commissioning. It's about trying to shift funding to the voluntary sector. The second one is about empowering and engaging local communities. And the third one is all about representation of local people and of the voluntary sector.
Voluntary organisations are in the business of providing for local people and their essential needs in the way that previously local government or the NHS would have done. But they're doing it differently. And they're doing it in a way which promotes independence. And communities are vast, sometimes they're not at all collective. But local people do have connections in the places where they live and often where they work. And it's by developing those connections that they can quite often find the support that they just don't get if they were to go to the GPs or into the council.
One of the most exciting things about the work of the local community partnership is a different way of funding opportunities being provided in Croydon. So over the next 2 years, it's been agreed that a certain amount of funding will be given to each local community partnership, and it's the members of the local community partnership who will link the use of those funds to the community plan.
The local community partnerships, I think, are one of the best things that's come out of the HCT programme. We were really clear that we wanted to put the resource and the power and the money essentially into those local community partnerships for them to commission the services that they wanted at a very local level. The group itself around community health. It's a strategy.
We have been providing community support activities all around for many years, and Hub came as a logical extension for us to provide those services, primarily because it helped us to not only bring partners into the service but also statutory bodies like housing from the Croydon Council.
So many people walking through the doors to kind of have empowering conversations with our community facilitators, and then being able to see a service provider which is a bonus. It's a genuine piece of co-production in their community which is accessible to them.
I was basically going to ask for help with counselling, but then I thought to myself, probably what I need is to take a voluntary role. It's a commitment that it will take me out of the house, and also I will help people, they will help me.
Quite often we see this with clients who come in with problems to resolve themselves, but actually they really want to help others in similar situation, because I think they have that empathy, they have lived experience.
It's like my second home. Some of the visitors that they come to see us, it's a regular thing. Just like it becomes bigger and bigger friendship and family doing the voluntary work. I wish more people would do that.
Any kind of change program, I think, requires a huge amount of tenacity, a heavy dose of optimism, and to a certain extent, some blind faith. It requires us all to make a bit of a leap, really, in terms of what we want to achieve, and I think that's what we've been really successful in doing as partners in the Healthy Communities Together programme. I think it's really important to recognise that we cannot carry on doing the
something has to change. We need to give agency to communities, and the only way to do that is to work with community groups to make sure that we're all working collaboratively together and creating an ecosystem that we can all help each other, support each other, and we recognise the strengths of different sectors. And this system gives us an incredible opportunity to create a better future and healthier people.
Good morning, everyone. Can everyone hear me okay? Excellent, excellent. My name is Mamun Khan. I work as the Program Manager at the Asian Resource Centre of Croydon. How many of you attended our AGM last year? Can I just see a show of hands? Okay, 50, maybe 50%, I take it. How many of you remember watching that video? Raise your hands. Couple of people, really. We tried, but unfortunately, the technology let us down and we couldn't play it. So we thought we'd try again after another year. And this time it worked perfectly for us. So excellent, that's great. I mean, it feels like just yesterday that we had the last AGM and already another year has gone past. And what we have achieved in the past year is immense in terms of the work and in terms of the support that we have provided the community. I'm sure many of you have seen our annual report, which our Vice Chair will go through later on and showcase some of the work that we've done. So this is actually my second AGM of the week, believe it or not. So maybe that's one of the other reasons why it feels like the AGM was yesterday. Anyway, it was probably more relevant to watch it this year because of the impactful work that we've done on that project. So it's never outdated, the video as such. Okay, before we start the formal meeting, I would like to take you through some quick housekeeping and give you an overview of the agenda for today's meetings. So in terms of housekeeping, please be aware that we are taking photographs. This is purely for our marketing and social media. We are also recording the AGM to upload on our website and YouTube channel. Please note the toilets are situated through the double doors and then the double doors again. If you need any assistance, one of the staff will be able to help you with that. There are no planned fire drills. In the instance we have a fire alarm, please do vacate through the double doors, then to the left. If you need any assistance again, one of the colleagues will be able to help you. So we have a packed agenda today, so please bear with us, and we will do our level best to get through everything as timely as possible. So let me quickly take you through the agenda for the morning. So in a moment, you will hear from the chair, Jay Patel, who will give the chair's address. Following on from that, there will be a secretary's report, which will be given by our vice chair, Mr. Ash Balakrishnan. Then there will be an update on our business forum, followed by a treasurer's report. And then we have a colleague from One Croydon Alliance, Rachel Flagg, who is our first guest speaker. So welcome, Rachel. So she'll be addressing the audience. After that, we are expecting the Mayor of Croydon, the Executive Mayor of Croydon, Jason Perry, to speak. So hopefully he'll be with us in time to address the audience. And then our CEO, Ima, will give the CEO's report, followed by a presentation from two colleagues from the Home Office, who we will introduce later on. And then there'll be a couple of project updates for you to listen to. And then after that, we'll have any other business and close. Okay, so I will now ask our CEO, Ima Mia, to chair the rest of the meeting.
Assalamu alaikum, Sat Sri Akal, Namaste, and greetings in our traditional South Asian languages. Thank you everyone for coming along. And yes, there are many, many familiar faces, and there are some new ones, which is great. My name's Ima Mia. I'm the CEO of the Asian Resource Centre of Croydon. I'd like to say good morning to our dignitaries, our guest speakers, members and colleagues. A very warm welcome to our annual general meeting 23-24. We will be joined by the Executive Mayor, as Mamoon said, a bit later. I think he'll be here about 12:15, something like that. So he'll give his address later. He's at another engagement apparently, but he wanted to be here, so he'll join us. It's great to see so many people again. And Mamoon has given me a subtle warning. I can't do my British weather jokes again. He said, you do it every single year, do not do it this year. So I went and saw some episodes of Goodness Gracious Me for some inspiration. Would you like me to share some jokes?
Yes.
Does everyone know what Goodness Gracious Me is? Because I'm thinking the young people are thinking, what's this? No, really I didn't. I'm not going to do any jokes. There's some disappointment. Okay, but what I will do is it's become tradition over the past few years that we do a random poll. Now this one's not so random actually, because it's something I ponder on as a CEO all the time, and I need your help. Did everyone manage to get onto the Wi-Fi? Yeah? As people are coming in, we kind of asked them to get on Wi-Fi. Have most of you managed to get onto the Wi-Fi? If you haven't, I'll give you a couple of seconds. Would you mind trying to get onto the Wi-Fi? It's basically the Grand Sapphire Wi-Fi, and then I think you put in some joining details and it should connect you. So I'll give you a couple of minutes while Mamoon loads the slide for me. Now, the reason why I want your help on this is because I get asked often, what are the biggest issues a CEO can deal with, and what are some of the things that I need support with? And people are really kind, they're offering me support all the time. And there are some deep, profound questions that CEOs often ponder, and I need your support on that. Right, shall we give it a go? Has everyone, can you put your hand up if you haven't got access to the internet? We've got a few people who haven't. Can my staff try and help these people? I think, if you leave your hand up, my staff will come around and try and help you to get on. And Bushra at the back, who is my most amazing friend from the Grand Sapphire, is going to help people as well. So just pop your hand up. Okay, so for those who can, Mamoon, would you like to join Menti? So you go to menti.com, so that's www.menti.com, and then the user code is 29471954. Or you can kind of scan the QR code if you know how to do that, just there. So this is my question for the day, right? Which one of these would you choose as your CEO superpower for the day? And the options are instantly fix all IT issues, goodbye tech troubles, unlimited coffee supply that never gets cold, C, the ability to fast forward through meetings but keep the results, D, mind reading during tough negotiations, and E, clone yourself to get through all the emails in one go. You can only pick one. Oh, we're getting a clear winner here. I'll tell you what I picked later. I'm going to give it a few more minutes because I know we've got quite a lot of people in here and not as many results. So the options again for you are instantly fix all IT issues, unlimited coffee supply that never gets cold, ability to fast forward through meetings but keep the results, mind reading through tough negotiations, and clone yourself to get through all the emails in one go. Oh. Can you remember which one you chose last night, Marie? It's the same two that we both chose. We were practicing this at home last night to see if it was working, and we chose two, and it was those two. So I'm going to leave it there because it's just a light bit of fun. So the results for your CEO superpower for people in here is C, ability to fast forward through meetings but keep the results. We sit on some pretty lengthy meetings, so I would pretty much pick that one as well. And the other is mind reading through tough negotiations. Oh, there's a clear winner. So mind reading power wins. And thank you everyone for helping me. Next time I'll try and do better at mind reading through tough negotiations. Jokes aside, it was just a bit of light fun. I am absolutely delighted to be here once again to host our annual general meeting. It's an exquisite venue and they treat us so well here that we keep coming back every single year. And I'm here to tell you today about some of the plans that we've got for the future, but also some of the work that we've done over the past year. And before we go into AGM business, it would only be fitting, really, for us to first acknowledge that we are living through deeply troubling times, both at home and abroad, and to pay our respects for the innocent lives lost through war, poverty, and sickness. I would like us all just to take a moment to reflect in our own ways, observing a minute's silence for world peace. Thank you very much. We can only hope that things get better around the world and at home. You guys are a quiet bunch today, aren't you? What's going on? Everybody's silent. Maybe I should have just stuck to the weather jokes or something, but the weather was so meh outside, right? And I just thought, oh, yeah, there's not much to say about it. It's not inspirational, but it's not dampening either. Right, so we are going to go on to AGM business now, and we get through it fairly efficiently, I think. So I would like you to give a warm welcome to our chair, Mr. Jay Patel, to come and do the chairman's address.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jay Patel, chairman of ARCC. First of all, I'd like to thank every one of you who is present here. To me, it demonstrates your commitment to our organization, and for that, I'm deeply grateful. Year 2023 to 2024 has been a challenging year in terms of market instability, supply chain disruptions, and global economic uncertainty that has taken its toll on both the country's economy and the communities that we represent and serve. So yes, our journey hasn't been without its challenges. We have faced some setbacks, learned hard lessons, and made some very tough decisions. But through it all, our team's resilience and the unwavering support that we receive from the funding organizations, the council and the statutory partners, has given us the confidence to still achieve some remarkable success. As countries have finally opened up for business in 2022, after 2 years of pandemic lockdown, the global economy faced further pressure resulting from the Russian invasion of Ukraine, which continues to have a devastating impact on people who live there, as well as adding to the rising cost of living and the cost of doing business all over the world. These factors, along with rapidly changing political landscape, drove inflation in UK to a 40-year high, with consumers and businesses facing increased cost and considerable uncertainty. You'll have to excuse me because I have a heart condition, so I'm a little bit nervous in terms of speaking fluently as I would normally do. So coming back, basically the interest rates have gone high, and while some of ground for caution optimism with employment remaining high, I believe the economic environment will remain challenging for some time to come, with expected further tightening of consumer spending and real income. So the biggest challenge we face is how it is putting pressure on household budgets, especially the most vulnerable and the marginalized communities who now expect more support from us. However, even under these difficult conditions, I'm delighted to announce that we will still remain a very resilient organization. The achievement you will hear from our CEO and other officers aren't just figures on the spreadsheet. They represent real people choosing to engage with our services that we provide to them, and the funding organizations who believe in our vision, expertise, and commitment to deliver. My personal focus has been to develop strategic partnerships, and I'm pleased to announce that we have a large corporate organization that we secured last year that is supporting and developing community space in what used to be Croydon Park Hotel. We've also taken the decision to introduce our services in Sutton, which is the neighboring borough. So we will replicate some of the services that we're currently offering Croydon to the residents of Sutton as well. And in January this year, I was invited by the Home Office to attend their conference at the Oval Cricket Ground. They have set up a national community engagement team. The collaboration agreement with the engagement team is that they send 2 members of their staff to Bristol Community Hub once every month. And we have Sohail here, who is National Community Engagement Team Lead, who will be presenting to you later on about the collaboration. And in June this year, we sponsored International Yoga Day in partnership with a community group called VHP, and nearly 400 people attended that yoga sessions. We again celebrated Chandrat and Navratri in partnership with Grand Sapphire to unite our diverse community with impressive turnout of about more than 1,400 people about 2 weeks ago. Just gonna show you some video about that.
In this weekend's Navratri special of Out and About, we head to East Croydon, where Asian Resource Centre Croydon hosts their 2024 Navratri celebrations. That's on this weekend's Out and About on Sunday 27th of October at 6 p.m. right here on ZTV. That's Out and About, your favourite weekly community show. Don't miss it.
What we have achieved in 3 years, because this is the 3rd year that we ran the Navratri event, it's become an iconic event in Croydon. Croydon should be proud that it's one of the biggest Navratri celebration that takes place in probably the whole of London, apart from Harrow. Okay, finally, I would like to thank everyone that is associated with ARCC. To all our staff, thank you for your passion, dedication, and hard work throughout the year. Let me express my deepest appreciation in the manner you all work as a team that is nothing short of inspiring. The credit for this goes to our senior management staff. That includes the CEO, program manager, finance manager, and the IT manager. To our funding organizations, thank you for your trust and patience in having confidence in our ability to deliver the services that our community expects from us. And to our community members, thank you for engaging with us. Thank you for the feedback you give us about the services where we can make continuous improvement and make them more efficient as well. And finally, I'd like to thank the trustees. Thank you for your support to implementing comprehensive policies to improve our efficiency and compromising on quality of service we provide to our community members. As we look to the future, I'm filled with optimism. We have the right team, the right vision, and most importantly, the right model in the way we deliver our services, especially to improve the health and well-being of our community members. Thank you for being part of this incredible journey, and I look forward to serving you next year as well.
Okay, I want you to stay on
the stage because we are actually going to do the adoption of the last AGM minutes today.
Thank you, ma'am. The job never ends, does it? Okay. Our our AGM meeting notes are on the website. So if you haven't read it, please go and read it. It's the last year board minutes. What I would like to formally do is, can I have someone to propose and someone to second the minutes? Tell your name. Hussein Gore and Ghazala. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jay. What I can say is this is one of the Croydon Alliance. We progressed with difficult health conditions over the past year or so, but he has carried on, and I tell you what, it's difficult to keep up because Jay is constantly moving and pushing us along to make sure we do better and better. I'd like to personally say thank you to you, Jay, for all the hard work and the leadership that you give to us on a daily basis. Thanks for that. So next up, folks, it's our secretary for our secretary's address.
Hi everyone. So I'm going to do the secretary's report. It's probably the favourite part in this brochure that you've all, if you had a chance to look at it, it's probably the best part. So it's usually our secretary, but he's not here today, so I'm going to do it today. So I'm just going to read little snippets from the report. So over the past year, we have continued to advance our mission to foster community engagement, support volunteer initiatives, and enhance the well-being of the local community, particularly within the Asian and minority ethnic groups. Throughout the year, ARCC has made substantial strides across various areas, driven by our commitment to promoting inclusivity, equality, and empowerment. Key outcomes include delivery of critical mental health and wellbeing programs through partnerships such as the Here to Talk project, which provided counselling and mental health support in Croydon. Continued development of the Ethnicity and Mental Health Improvement Programme, aimed at reducing disparities in mental health care for Black, Asian, and minority ethnic communities. And finally, a successful expansion of health-related projects, including the NHS SWL ICB Long-Term Conditions Project and our Cancer Awareness Programme, which focused on boosting cancer screening and awareness among the South Asian community in Croydon. So that's the Secretary's report. Thank you.
Let me ask you to stay as well, but also invite Tamkin Riaz to come on stage because it's time to hear about our business forum.
So we're just going to touch on our, this year we launched our Asian Resource Centre's business forum. Tamkin, who's one of our newest trustees, has been spearheading our chair's vision to create and connect our Asian business community. We had our launch about 6 months ago at the town hall, which was well attended. And just last month, we had an evening dedicated to Asians in property in the area. We had over 35 businesses attend. These are businesses who live in the area, who operate in the area, but they've never actually met each other. And from that, we had some great conversations that took place, and really we could see it's the beginning of new relationships and hopefully leading to collaboration as well. And another reason why we're doing this is we want to get more Asian businesses involved in some of the projects that we're doing here at ARCC, and I'm sure everyone here knows at least one good Asian business, and if you're happy to kind of share their names and let us know about them, then we're happy to kind of connect with them and work with them as well. But Tamkin, did you want to say a few words?
Well, thank you very much for that, Ash, and Jay for appointing me for running these events. Just to say that we did run 3 events, 2 at the town hall, and the last one was last month at IAD. And overall, we had over 200 people total coming. Most of them, 90% were businesses. So there is a lot of business in Croydon. There are about 27,000 businesses in Croydon, 27,000, out of which only 5% employ 500 or more people. The other 98% are 2 to 3 to 5 people. So, that's a credit to Croydon that we have so many entrepreneurs and business, and it's about time that we are on the map to help all these businesses. So that's just what Asian Resource Centre wants to do in the business forum, is to get as many businesses together so we can collaborate, and especially Asian businesses. Yes, we have all the other businesses coming, but we want to focus mainly on Asian and black community businesses. And we are doing that, and we're going from strength to strength. And as Ash has said, if anyone knows any businesses, please tell them to get in touch. Thank you for all your support and help. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Tamkin and Ash. And as you say rightly, the Asian community and Asian entrepreneurs contribute a great deal to the local economy and the national economy. One of the things that we found is that there may be a missed trick if we don't sort of explore CSR more in these troubled times where funding is not as much as it used to be, far less than it used to be, in fact. But we know businesses are actually very giving once they're committed to a cause. So we've started to link in more with businesses. And of course, businesses are part of the community, right? They're community members, they use our services as well. So we are trying to link in more with the businesses, and the efforts through our business forum is showing. Now I'd like to, it's time for our Treasurer's report. I would like to request our Programme Manager, Mamoon, to come on stage.
Good morning again, everyone. I see many familiar faces and some new faces. Welcome. Thank you very much for joining us. As Emma said, I'm presenting the Treasurer's report on behalf of our Treasurer, Dr. Suraj Paudel, and our Finance Manager, Deba Chakraborty. Unfortunately, neither Deba nor Suraj could be with us today for the AGM. Deba had a bereavement in her family in India, and she had to fly to India in an emergency over the weekend. So I will try my level best to go through the finance update as best, We've had the full sets of accounts, obviously, on the website. It's around 34 pages or 35 pages. So don't worry, I'm not planning to go through that, because I know it will put you to sleep, and then you won't attend our AGM again. Okay? So I'll leave the boring accounts to one side. Before I actually go on to the Treasurer's report, how many of you use social media? Raise your hands. Okay? Not many. I would have thought more than that in the room. Okay, how many of you are actually following us on social media? Yeah? Excellent. I can see a few hands over there. So we are active on X. Welcome, Mr. Mayor. I didn't see you come in at all. It was a surprise to see you sit there all of a sudden. Wow. That was magical. Yeah, it was. Honestly. I missed that completely. Wow, welcome. Anyway, I was just saying, how many of you follow us on social media? I know Mr. Mayor does, because he regularly likes us, shares our tweets, our Instagram posts and everything. So thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, for that. If you're not, please do follow us on social media. We're active, as I said, on X, on Facebook, on Instagram, as well as YouTube as well. If not, I'm sure all of you are on WhatsApp, right? So we have a WhatsApp announcement group where we send out at least 2 to 3 messages every week. That's the only way that you can really keep in touch with our projects and activities and really get involved. So if you're not on our announcement group, please do scan that QR code, or there is a banner here also. You can scan and get onto the announcement group. That way you will ensure that you don't miss anything at ARCC. Okay? So let me bring up the Treasurer's report. So this is really a high-level summary of the income expenditure, looking at the comparative income over the last 5 years, and just looking ahead to the next financial year to see where we're at halfway point, I believe. So let me take you through that. I know we have a very friendly audience here. I'm not going to get any tough questions today, am I? Because in the absence of the finance manager and the treasurer, I think I would struggle. So you'll have to email them, so forgive me for that in advance. So the total income for the year was 802,529. Slightly dropped from last year. We did have big hopes, but unfortunately some of the fundings did not materialize. If they did, we would have been around 1.5 to 2 million easily. But this is the way things go. Anyhow, so in terms of the income stream, this is the breakdown of the different income we received for the financial year ending 31st of March 2024. So as you can see at the top, nearly 174,000 from One Croydon Alliance LVP fund, 160,600 from NHS SWL ICS for a long-term conditions and expert patients program, 92,728 again from SWL NHS for the Care Home Connector project. We received £88,852 for our MHIP project. MHIP is the Ethnic Minority Health Improvement Program. I think I got it right. Where is Asima and Shahana? Did I get it right?
Yeah.
Everyone gets confused. Even colleagues at BMA Forum struggle with that. There was another 66,577 from Royal Marsden NHS Foundation. Just under 62,000 from One Croydon Alliance for our community facilitator project. That was the video that you saw at the beginning, before the AGM. We had a lot of trouble playing last year, and I really got told off from the colleagues, because they really wanted to showcase the video. So I said, let's wait for the next AGM. I promise I will play it for you. So there was another almost 59,000 consisting of other small bits of revenue. I won't go into details about that, but it's probably about 10 different elements which combined to give that 59,000 total. And then 29,250 from Croydon Health Services for our Equality, Diversity and Inclusivity Research Project. You will hear a bit more, I think, about that. Are we having a presentation on that? Okay, I'm not going to go through the other totals. They're relatively small in comparison, but this is the makeup of the 802,524 in terms of income. In terms of expenditure, total expenditure for the year was 769,923. Again, just high-level summary of the expenditure. 486,873 went on management and admin. This is mainly all the project delivery consisting of all the staff. 175,629 on charitable activities. 41,567 for project delivery. This is the various funding we've given to other groups in the borough. £37,909 for general admin. And then there was 25,524 for other support costs. And there was a small amount for governance costs. So the total again, 769,923. Am I boring everyone? I feel like people are falling asleep, honestly. I'm getting the same feeling up here. I think we need something to liven you up. We'll see what we can do later on. Okay, in terms of the annual income comparison, so this is a comparison for the last 5 years from 2020 to 2024. As you can see, we have grown as an organization quite significantly. If we go back to 2020, the income was just under 345,000. Last year, we hit our highest income as an organization, almost getting to a million mark, but not quite, 905,554. And as I said, we were hopeful that we would go over the million mark this year. And we were so close, I can tell you, we were so close. If one funding came through, it would have been 1.5 million. Yeah. It wasn't to be, but never mind. I think it's still a fantastic achievement to get 802,000 in the current climate. A lot of the organizations, thank you very much. A lot of the organizations are shutting up shops, in current climate, and we've managed to actually grow as an organization, but not just grow, but sustain that level. And we're hopeful in the coming year, things may be a bit more positive in terms of the outlook. So based on that, let me look at the outlook for 2024-25. As I said, we are currently halfway point, and in terms of the funds that we've secured so far for 2024-25, the total funds secured for the year so far is just over 500,000. So as I said, we've still got another 6 months to go, and I'm sure we will get close to that million mark. If not a million, at least 900,000. I'm not going to read all this for you. You can see it for yourself. So as I said, this is the forecast for the coming year. Yeah, If you've got any queries about the accounts or anything else relating to our projects and activities, please do contact us through any of the social media feeds, through our website, via email, or you can pop into our office at the Resource Centre. So I think I need to do the AGM formalities now.
Yes.
Yes?
We can
Okay.
do the adoption.
So now we need to approve our accounts and the independent examiners who are Begg, Williamson and Co. So this is the full set of accounts that's been on our website for the last year. Unfortunately, there was a glitch where the full account wasn't uploaded. There was a few pages missing at the end of the accounts, which was brought to our attention by one of the lovely councillors, Councillor Simon.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So we've managed to rectify that now. The full set of accounts is available on our website. So if you do go to our website, you'll be able to see that. I'm not going to bring it up now. It'll just take up more time. So if I could kindly ask someone to propose the accounts, please, and someone to second the accounts. Someone different from before would be better. Yeah? Mrs. Kakad, to propose. Is there someone to second the accounts, please? Okay, Shalini. Thank you very much. Okay? Take that. Thank you. Excellent. So thank you very much. So the approval of the accounts and the independent examiners are done. So that was the finance update on behalf of our Treasurer, Dr. Suraj, and our Finance Manager, Deba. Just one quick other announcement. I know some of you will need to pray Salatul Duhur before lunch, after we finish the AGM. So I have spoken to the management at Grand Sapphire, so they said if anyone needs to perform their Salatul Duhur, you can do so in the main hall just before lunchtime, yes? So please feel free to use the facilities if you need to, okay? Thank you very much for listening, okay? Thank you.
Thank you very much. I mean, that wasn't boring at all, was it? I think he really presents the accounts very well and makes it very interesting. You can tell his background is marketing and comms, isn't it? Because he comes on and does this thing about sign up to our WhatsApp group and follow us on Twitter, etc. So, yeah, we all multitask at ARCC, so we have our titles, but nobody really sticks to that because we do a bit of everything. And Mamoon really is the heartbeat of the organisation. Thanks very much, Mamoon, and our thoughts are with Deba and her family at this current time. It's a terrible loss for the family. I think the takeaways from that particular Treasurer's report is how diverse the income has become for ARCC, and that has been a constant endeavour for us over the past few years. We've been trying to make sure that we're not putting all our eggs in one basket and diversifying the income stream. And also, I think if you read our annual report, you will see just how far 802,000 can go. Just how many projects, how many lives, and how much impact you can actually make with a relatively small, it's a small, I wouldn't say we're a big charity, we're a small charity, but we do reach a lot of lives. Now it's time to move on. So we've done the AGM business, boring bit over, now it's the more interesting part of it. It's my pleasure to introduce our first guest speaker of the day. She's someone who I actually have an incredible amount of respect for. Not only does she lead on bringing the VCS into a meaningful partnership with the One Croydon Alliance, but she is actually genuinely paving the way for transformation of health services and pushing forward our collective ambition to shift resources into the voluntary and community sector. She's actually been a great deal of personal source of support for me, and I'm extremely grateful that she's here to speak a little bit more about the work of the Alliance. A very, very warm welcome, please, ladies and gentlemen. Rachel Flagg, Programme Director of the One Croydon Alliance.
Hello, everybody. So my name is Rachel Flagg. I'm Programme Director for the One Croydon Alliance. The One Croydon Alliance is a really important partnership in Croydon, and it brings together all of the health and care organisations across the NHS, the council and the voluntary and community sector. And we come together with a shared purpose to improve health and well-being for everybody in Croydon. I'm really pleased to be here with you today to celebrate Asian Resource Centre's achievements, because this organisation is so important for communities in Croydon and as a very valuable partner in improving health and care in our borough. When I read the annual report and when I've listened to the presentations today, it's a real reminder of that wide range of projects that this organisation is delivering and the positive impact of this organisation's work on residents. Asian Resource Centre are involved in so many pieces of work to improve health and wellbeing because health and care partners value the expertise that the organisation brings to connecting with people across communities in Croydon. And that's important for the NHS, for one partner in the Alliance, because over a third of people in Croydon are diagnosed with one or more long-term conditions. And that's not only older people, 60% of people with long-term conditions are aged under 65. And we know that some people in parts of the borough and from some communities are likely to live fewer years of their life in good health. And that's an unfair health inequality. And that's why we work together in partnership to focus on prevention, early intervention and improved management of health conditions to maximise good health for as many people as possible. So you've heard about some of the Asian Resource Centre projects already, where Asian Resource Centre are a key partner in this work on prevention, early intervention and good management of health conditions. So that's, just to name some of the examples, the Expert Patient Programme, where people can benefit from being well educated about how to manage their own health and well-being and be independent and work with the support of others who are kind of in the same situation. There's been a lot of great work on community awareness raising and outreach in the community. Hundreds of people have been part of events and been better informed about how to be healthier as a result. There are some really important roles working in the community, whether those are wellbeing champions or community connectors or community health and wellbeing workers going into the communities with the biggest health challenges. And as we saw in the video earlier, the community hub at Brigstock Road has hundreds of people every month coming in to make social connections and get access to the services that they need. We've also mentioned Asian Resource Centre's role as a key partner in the Ethnicity in Mental Health Improvement project, providing advice and practical help for people in need of support in a way that works for them. So I'd like to thank all the staff involved in these projects, whether you're a community facilitator, a champion, a connector, or working behind the scenes to make it all work. What you're doing is bridging the gap between the community, health and social care and connecting with residents. And in many of your projects you work in partnership with other voluntary and community sector organisations. So I think Asian Resource Centre is really a linchpin in terms of partnership working in our borough. I must also mention the important role that Asian Resource Centre's Chief Executive has played in a key strategic programme for the One Croydon Alliance, and that was the subject of the video that we watched at the beginning, which is called Healthy Communities Together. And it's all about better partnership working across the voluntary sector, the NHS and the council to achieve better health and wellbeing for Croydon people. So what Emma has done is chaired the Voluntary Sector Leadership Board. She's been the Senior Responsible Officer for Leadership and Representation of the voluntary sector for the last 3 or 4 years, I think it is now, working in partnership with other leaders. And that's often been in challenging circumstances, and she's always represented the community and the wider sector with integrity in that piece of work. One of the things I really value about working with Asian Resource Centre is that you remind us of 2 things when we commission services or design improvement projects. One is that there is so much strength in the community and in what people can do to support each other with the leadership of a committed community organisation. And 2, that there are many people in our communities who face barriers to accessing the help and care that they need, and we need to continue to strive to make sure we change that. I just want to end by telling you about a message that I received recently from Emma with a video clip showing a packed room of people. And she said, "More than 80 people at our coffee morning today, Rachel. Our people aren't hard to reach if you know how to." And we're very lucky to have Asian Resource Centre in Croydon who do know how. and every day are reaching people across communities and giving them a better chance to be happier and healthier. So thank you to all of you for the work that you do, and congratulations on your 25-year anniversary. I know you'll continue to grow in strength over the years to come.
Thanks very much, Rachel. You can see why she's one of my favourite people, right? So incredibly eloquent, beautiful, and I'm jealous of your dresses. We see each other at quite a lot of events. I'm always like, what's Rachel going to wear today? So thanks very much, Rachel. You're an incredibly inspiring woman, and been a real source of support for me and ARCC. So I thank you for that. And I particularly picked up on your point about the partnership working and the acknowledgement that ARCC is playing a pivotal part in working towards better health and well-being for Croydon communities, and that absolutely is our main aim. So thank you for that. So now it's, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our chief guest. Every single year I call him and I ask him the same question. Mr. Mayor, will you be joining us at our AGM? And in anticipation of a no, I always have a pursuing list up my sleeve. But we're very lucky, and I'm pleased to say that I've never had to use them, because Mr. Mayor gratefully accepts our invitation, and despite how busy you are, you always make time to attend. I must say, as a critical friend to the council and a community, as a community infrastructure group, it's our job to hold the council to account and ask difficult questions. You can believe me, I do. At every opportunity, sometimes even at social, so I'm sorry about that. Honestly speaking though, since the very first time I had a meeting with Mr. Mayor and I asked him to pledge his support to underrepresented communities, I have found him to do that. He does it well and he does it enthusiastically, so that makes our job much easier in connecting with our borough leader. Please give a warm welcome to our Mayor, Mr. Jason.
Good afternoon, everybody. I just said to Emma, nobody says no to Emma, so it's just not allowed, is it? So good afternoon, and thank you very much indeed for inviting me today to this AGM. The Asian Resource Centre at Croydon are indeed that valued partner for the council and have been for many years, and it's a privilege to address your annual general meeting, especially as you celebrate those 25 years of incredibly hard work. And your contribution to the borough, both in terms of the services you provide and the role that you play in the community cohesion, is truly significant and a magnificent effort. As we know, Croydon is one of the most diverse boroughs in London, and our Asian communities are an integral part of our rich cultural fabric. And I'm proud of the partnership that we have developed over those many years. Before I was mayor, I served as a councillor for 28 years in Croydon, and I've been privileged to see the impact of the work of ARCC. And this has included the work in promoting health and well-being, particularly through the Brigstock Road Community Hub, and your focus on tackling long-term conditions in the Asian community, which has made such a real difference. Your business forum, which plays a critical role in helping local businesses to grow, network and prosper. Your focus on maternal health and early years support, ensuring that children from Asian backgrounds in Croydon get the best start in life. And ARCC's leadership, as we've just heard, in the One Croydon Alliance and the Healthy Communities Together programme. And I too would like to personally thank Emma for her contribution to that work. And your outreach work for the Integrated Care Board on a long-term condition prevention and management, which is crucial in reducing health inequalities, as well as cultural events such as Croydon Mela and Diwali festivities, which bring our communities together and highlight the cultural pride that we all share, as well as this bumper edition annual report highlighting all of the amazing projects that you are undertaking. ARCC and the Asian community contribute greatly to Croydon, and you contribute greatly to Croydon life, and you have a lot to be proud of. It's now been just over 2.5 years since I became your elected mayor, and it's been quite the journey. I inherited a council burdened with £1.6 billion worth of debt, costing us in excess of £60 million per year to service that debt. That's our third largest expenditure as a council after adults and children's services. Croydon was one of the most financially challenged councils in the country, yet just last year we managed to set a balanced budget for the 23-24 financial year. That was then, this is now. Finances remain challenging, but we're not bankrupt. We do not have a Section 114 in Croydon, and that is due to the financial discipline and sound governance introduced by my administration. And we've achieved significant milestones to bring Croydon back on track. We've removed the planning design guide that was driving the destruction of family homes. We've reviewed the local plan to revitalise Croydon's planning system, prioritising design and character over density in new developments. We've commissioned a new town centre vision, spatial framework and regeneration plan with regular meetings with Westfield on the Whitgift and Hammerson developments. We've approved a planning application for 7 retail units to be opened in the Alders frontage in North End in the new year. We've secured £53.8 million from the Greater London Authority to deliver the new housing scheme for Regina Road residents, with construction starting by summer 2026. We've restructured our housing department, bringing in 3 new repairs contractors and taking the repairs contact centre in-house to improve oversight and service delivery. We've developed a youth safety delivery plan and progressed a 3-year plan to tackle violence against women and girls. We've implemented new public space protection orders for the town centre and Thornton Heath to curb antisocial behaviour. And we've delivered blitz cleans in Norbury and Thornton Heath, with New Addington next on the list, and announced a new waste, recycling and street cleansing contract, which will commence in April 2025. We've also secured £18.5 million in levelling up funding for the Reconnecting Croydon programme, starting the regeneration of our town centre and improving its look, feel and safety, as well as commissioning an economic analysis and inward investment plan for the town centre. We've set a balanced budget for 24-25 and published the Future Croydon Transformation Plan, outlining our continued improvement journey over the next 5 years. Much has been achieved and much is still to do, but we are very much on a journey of improvement. Fixing the finances has been a top priority for my administration, and I've made it a priority to put this right by tackling the financial challenges we face. Above all, by listening to local people, understanding your priorities, and addressing them together in a sustainable way for the future. As part of this, we recently undertook our first resident survey in many years. And I wanted to share something that particularly stood out for me, and that was notably that residents reported a strong sense of community in Croydon, with 78% of residents saying that they felt strongly they belonged to their immediate neighbourhood, and 82% stating that the local area is a place where people from different backgrounds get on well together. I think this is testament to the mature community relations that we have here in Croydon, as well as to our strong belief in Croydon as a place. And I think it's that place of Croydon that matters to all of us. Many of you will know that I'm a Croydon boy, born and bred, like many of you. And what I'm most passionate about is restoring pride in Croydon. And much of that is about supporting the regeneration of our town and our district centres, and tackling the look and feel of our borough, removing graffiti and collecting fly tipping quickly. As Mayor, one of my most important responsibilities is to ensure that every resident, no matter their background, feels proud to call Croydon home. And I want to thank ARCC for your dedication, your 25 years of hard work, and your partnership in bringing that to fruition. Under Emma's leadership, under Jay's chairmanship, your committee, your trustees, ARCC is moving with the times and remaining very relevant. And you will reach that 1 million, I know you will. You will reach that 1 million, and you will continue to serve the residents of Croydon well. In summing up, I think Croydon, I know Croydon is London's largest borough, London's greenest borough, London's youngest borough. And with your continued work and support, I know that Croydon is London's best borough. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, as always. And you did make me giggle as he came up. He said, no one can say no to you. And I'm like, okay, I'll bear that in mind the next time I put in another request for your presence. Thank you so much for sharing those, that progress, the huge amount of progress that the council has made. And in terms of our target for £1 million, given the council's not bankrupt this year, maybe next year we'll be in the green, and then the following year we'll get funded and we'll get to this million. So we are hopeful, and it's great to hear about the brilliant progress that you're making at the council. And indeed, it's really important for charities to preserve a good relationship with the council, because so many of our community members connect both with the council, need their services and need our services, and a joint partnership way of working with health, with the council, with the voluntary and community sector is the only way forward to make sure we give a real holistic and a whole system approach to our communities. Now it's actually time to introduce myself, because it's time for the CEO's report. And I'm absolutely delighted. And it's a pleasure every year to stand before you at our AGM. As we reflect the past year, I want to begin by expressing my immense pride in what we have achieved together at ARCC. This year has been one of both significant challenges and meaningful progress. And through it all, our organisation has emerged stronger. It's more resilient and more committed to the communities we serve. The past financial year has brought with it substantial obstacles, and we haven't hid that our finances were lower than the previous year, even though we were really optimistic and we wanted to do even better than last year. The reason of that, and I've said it for a couple of years, apologies Mr Mayor, it's going to be said again this year, but next year it won't be, because it will be history. The loss of the council funding and the completion of our national lottery grant made a significant impact on our finances. But I think we have navigated those challenges, and you can see the future is bright, and we have diversified our income. Through our unwavering dedication, strategic partnerships and focus on community well-being, we have exceeded our operational targets and continue expanding our services. Our partnerships, particularly with the NHS and Croydon Council, have strengthened, positioning ARCC at the forefront of community health initiatives. We have cemented our role within the One Croydon Alliance and proudly represent the Asian community at the highest levels across the borough and South West London. Our flagship programmes, including the long-term conditions and expert patient programme, have provided health services that impact thousands of lives. This year we took significant strides in addressing health inequalities within minority ethnic groups. Projects like the Ethnicity and Mental Health Improvement Programme and the Royal Marsden Cancer Awareness Project are closing the gap in healthcare access for underrepresented groups. Just to take a breather there, I'd like to welcome Malik Gul, who's here from Wandsworth, who's one of the partners of the EPIC project. Welcome. These initiatives are just the beginning of a broader effort to ensure that no one is left behind. But beyond the numbers and the projects, our impact can be seen in the faces of the individuals and families we support. There are many people here who work in Croydon, our strategic partners, but actually there are many people who are members of our community, and that's what we treasure. The fact that you're interested in what we've done, the fact that you're here to support us, and the fact that you keep coming every single event that we do to take part. Thank you. Our growth has also brought new challenges, particularly as we expanded into South West London, and securing new premises and ensuring sustainability of our projects has been a priority. This has required creative solutions and relentless dedication of our team, yet it is this team, our staff, volunteers and trustees and partners that have driven our success. Looking forward, our focus will be on expanding our reach and deepening the impact of our services. We aim to promote inclusivity and well-being within the Asian and minority ethnic communities while enhancing our financial stability through diversified income streams. Our partnership with the NHS and local councils and community organisations will continue to be key to our success, and we will not waver in our commitment to provide culturally sensitive, high-quality care to those who need it most. I'd like to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to our dedicated staff who work tirelessly to make a difference every day. To our funders, our partners and our community members, your trust enables us to continue our progress. And to our trustees, thank you for your leadership and guidance in shaping ARCC's future. As we look ahead, I am filled with optimism. Together we can continue to innovate, adapt, and most importantly, stay true to our mission of creating meaningful, lasting change in the lives of those we serve. Thank you for being a part of this incredible journey. Thank you. I just want to say a quick hello to some of our previous trustees. I just realised actually we've got quite, not only trustees of the present, but trustees of the past who had an incredible part in building ARCC. So thank you, Chandra, Nazala, for coming and continuing to support ARCC. Feels a bit empty without Humayun Kabir in the room. I must acknowledge him, even though he's not here, because I don't think he's ever missed an AGM, and this must be the first time that Councillor Kabir's not here, but I'm going to mention him anyway because I do every year because he's here. So that's the end of the CEO's report. Now, just before we go to the Home Office presentation, and they're here to talk a little bit about the work that they're doing with us, I just want to acknowledge that there are a few commissioners in the room. There's Anna. Anna, are you still here? Anna, you're here. Thank you very much for supporting us through Kingston. So we're doing some work with Kingston University, and Anna is one of the staff from the university. Thank you for the support you give us on the Abundance Project. And I can see Rosh here. Actually, Rosh, if you don't mind, I'm going to call you up on stage for a couple of seconds. Roshan Shiva is here, and he's from Croydon University Hospital, and Rosh works on the EDI department. You're probably going to give you a proper job title, but I'm winging it here, right? So, and Rosh has been supporting us for a couple of years as Commissioner, and some of the work we're doing around the EDI project is about research. And I think, Rosh, would you mind speaking a few words about the importance of research and some of the stuff that's going on at Croydon University Home? I'm sorry, I know you're not formally on the agenda, but I couldn't miss an opportunity.
Thanks for inviting me today. It's great to be here. So I've been working with these guys for about 2 years now. Basically, we get funding from centrally to try and improve the uptake of clinical research in underserved communities. So why is research important? Well, with you, the audience in mind, I bet some of you have diabetes, some of you have high blood pressure, heart disease, etc. Some of you will be on metformin, insulin, ramipril, you name it, okay? Those medications are there to improve your outcomes. You're on them because of research proved that your outcomes would improve on those medications, okay? So what's really important is that research continues in various communities, because if a community doesn't take part in research, then you can't extrapolate those results to that community, and then that community can't benefit from the research, okay? So that's our sort of primary aim. The issue is, to get you guys to do research, you have to trust us. And in the current environment, I'm not entirely convinced there is a lot of trust in healthcare, and we've been involved in doing a survey, over 1,000 of the community surveyed, and the results are quite stark. There is a lack of trust in primary care, secondary care, etc. So I think before you can get a community involved in research, a stepping stone to that is getting people more trusting of healthcare, okay? So I've been having conversations with these guys in the last few weeks. We are about to try and roll out a program, sort of a two-way street where we try and inform, establish trust, answer questions. It's very embryonic, so I'm very keen to try and get a lot of engagement from you guys about the scope of this program. But the ultimate aim is to get you better involved and better engaged in healthcare and ultimately research. I think the last thing I'll say, these are very exciting times. You've got this new government voted in on this mandate for change. You've got a 10-year plan, you've got a 5-year strategic plan from Croydon. Lots of sort of priorities about things like moving to preventative healthcare, from hospital to community, analog to digital. It's a very exciting time for healthcare. So what I think is really important is that we engage you guys to help us sort of almost like design the new health ecosystem of the future is a lot of work to do, and look forward to working with as many of you as possible in designing some of these programs, improving things. Okay, I'll stop there in the interest of time.
That was incredibly well structured for something that was quite spontaneous. Well done, Rosh, and thank you for your support. Rosh is absolutely right, of course. It's really important that our community does engage in research, because we can only discover new things, we can only understand how our community can be helped if we have enough research to be able to do that. So EDI is indeed very, very important, and R&D, of course. So now we're going back to the agenda, and I would like to call our second guest speakers. Now, I've got a little story to tell, as I do about everything, right? So last year, in this very room, there was a chap that came from the Home Office, and at the end he stood up and he said, how can we work better together? And a year on, I'm really, really pleased to say that we've been actively in conversation with the Home Office, and as a result now that there is an immigration surgery that happens in our community hub every 2 weeks, I think it is. So every fortnight people are able to benefit, because we know at the community hubs there are several issues that are really important, and immigration is one of those issues. So for us to be able to work with statutory partners and community partners to give advice to people on topics that they need is really, really valuable. So, ladies and gentlemen, can you welcome our second guest speakers, who are Sohail Ahmed, who's the National Community Engagement Team, and Jatinder Mataru, who's the Regional Lead London and South.
Good afternoon, everybody. I must say thank you to Ema for mentioning that anecdote, because it saved me 2 minutes on my talk, and I can see Mammon telling me 5 minutes, we've got 5 minutes. So first and foremost, hello, and thank you to Ema and ARCC for giving us this opportunity to talk to you. My name is Sohail Ahmed. I am the National Community Engagement Lead for South Asia for the Home Office. I'm also the co-chair to the Home Office Islamic Network. It's very important that I mention that. It's an internal responsibility that I have to say that to the community, because we, the Home Office, are a very inclusive department, and everybody is welcome should you wish to work there. I'm joined by my colleague Jatinder, who is going to introduce himself as well.
Thank you very much, Ema. My name is Jatinder Matharu, and as Ema said, I'm the Regional Community Engagement Officer for London and Southern England. So it's been a pleasure to be invited, so thank you very much.
Thanks for that, Jat. I'll touch on the fact that I was here last year, and I sat just there on the left, and I asked that question, how can we work together? And I was looking up at the chandelier, and it reminded me of sparkling stars, STAR. And I spoke to Jay a bit later on, met him for a meeting, and I said, STAR, STAR, what's the situation? What are the tasks we need to do to work with the community? What are the actions, the A? And what do the results look like? Results don't just need to be tangible when we're working with the community. It could be that we're helping that one individual which is very challenged in the community, or is destitute, or is suffering from domestic violence or other. But in the context of immigration enforcement, we are from immigration enforcement, we're part of the Home Office, and there is a misconception often about the Home Office when it comes to immigration enforcement. Often it's seen just to do with compliance. That's one side of it, yes, it's compliance, and there's a compliance agenda. But I'm going to touch on a word that Jay mentioned earlier about supporting the vulnerable in our community. Immigration enforcement has also an objective to support the vulnerable. And today's presentation, we're going to touch on the journey, what we've been doing with ARCC, and looking at some of our deliverables. Maman, can we have the next slide, please? I'll talk to this slide. Our objectives are quite straightforward. There's 3 of them there. Informing yourselves, just like we're doing now. We're a national outfit, so we travel the whole UK, informing the community about the immigration enforcement priority area and how communities can bring themselves to getting support in that space. Involving yourselves and connecting yourselves. We don't believe that engagement is just passive. We just deliver to you, we get you involved. So working with community leaders all across the UK, just like Jay and ARCC, grappling with the issue of immigration enforcement and supporting the community in terms of how people can bring themselves, not being fearful of immigration enforcement and being more trusting of ourselves. I know we heard the word trust earlier on. And staff support. We are staff, we are civil servants. We are bound by the Civil Service Code of Conduct, being honest and open and transparent with our communities, but we also inform our staff. We understand that continuous development and learning and development is something that doesn't stop. So we're educating our staff, a part of the wider cultural reform agenda, about how we can understand communities more. Our scope of our engagement, we've got diversity, inclusion at the top there, really bringing ourselves to that subject matter, but also being ourselves when we're delivering our topics. Awareness, we're delivering awareness sessions all across the UK, 2 community centres that are happy to have us. This could be a Gurdwara, or a mosque, a charity sector, or even it could be a young person's environment where we're talking about jobs and civil service jobs. Collaboration, it's been great collaboration with Jay and the team, and we'll touch on what we've been doing together. And promoting. There are aspects of immigration enforcement that we are also raising awareness and promoting in the community. And of course, transparency, I mentioned that earlier. As civil servants, myself and Jat here, abiding by the code of conduct and being transparent about what we're doing. Just like your AGM budgets, which were very transparent and we weren't falling asleep, it's good to be transparent about the subject matter so our communities are engaged on what is being said. Next slide, please, Maman. Now, this is what we're really here actually for, the journey. Jay, many thanks for all the meetings that we've been having together and grappling with the challenge. What is the challenge for the Croydon community? Myself, I actually was born and raised in Croydon, so I'm very passionate about Croydon. So it's a humbling experience for me to even be up here to talk to the community because I'm from the community. But the conversation was, how can you take immigration enforcement and bring it into the community so communities can come forward and access you? Well, it was the surgery. And the wording's there, it's available on your website as well. We delivered a surgery and continue to deliver immigration enforcement surgeries with thanks to the hub team, and Maria is somewhere here in the audience, at the back there, keeping us honest and challenging us, making sure that we're turning up on time and delivering for the community. The surgeries actually have been a great place that the community can come in confidence without fear of arrest. There's no arrest from immigration enforcement, there's no intelligence gathering. And we've had conversations around homelessness, domestic violence, modern slavery, to name but a few. Individuals bringing themselves without judgment and talking to us. So we have an immigration officer there. Myself and Jack often turn up as well to speak to the community at the desk, at the heart of Croydon. And it's been really, really successful. That's me getting my blood pressure there as well. You have really good sessions happening there. And I know the DWP at the back there, of the picture there, they're also present as well. So it's a really good hub where communities can get real life, real time advice and guidance. Next slide, please, Mama. Let's stop looking at the words. Let's look at some pictures. Jack, do you want to give us a bit of a highlight into what we actually do in other parts of the UK?
Just a few images there. The top right one was the team attending an NEC event in Birmingham. I do apologise. The photograph to the top right is the team at NEC live event. It's an emergency partners and working alongside the fireplace and other emergency partners as well. The bottom right is the team taking part in an event with the Vietnamese community in Deptford. Again, sort of like reaching out to communities is quite key. So how I mentioned earlier on, trust, building that relationship, and that can only happen sort of by working together. And yeah, just a few pictures there.
Thanks for that, Jack. Can we have the next slide, please, as well? I'll run through this one quickly again. We're national, as I mentioned, so whether you're in Wrexham, Brighton, any part of the UK, we're delivering for the community. And it's important to understand here for us, trust is a big aspect of our work. We know that there are misconceptions out there, but if there are any community leaders here, and if we think about the example that I gave from last year, being there and offering to ARCC to work together, if you'd like to work together with us and find out what we're about and how we can deliver for your community, then we're more than happy to do that. Next slide, please. That was pretty good. I think I stuck to that 5 minutes. You can contact us via that email address or come and talk to us at the end. We're not going to take up any more of your time. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and I'm also, again, very proud to be a Croydon resident. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Sahel and Jatinder. And I think what that really shows is that you can make some incredibly good connections wherever you go. And given we're the home office borough, I think it's only out that you get out in the community and see people where they go. So thank you very much for talking about your project. I'm going to bring it back in-house now so you can see a little bit more about what ARCC is doing. So I'm going to call a couple of my colleagues to come on stage. Please welcome Amjad Rahman, Gifty and Bina to tell you about our long-term conditions, expert patient programme and our chronic kidney disease project.
Good afternoon, everybody. So my name is Amjad Rahman. I'm the lead on the long-term conditions project. This project is in conjunction with NHS Southwest London and the Croydon BME Forum. Andrew, unfortunately, is not here, can't make it today, but he normally comes in and...
He wails.
Yeah, well, he's not. He normally comes up and does a little talk. Unfortunately, he's not been able to come up here today. But it's a project we've been running for a long time. I'm just going to give you a brief overview. So, what is a long-term condition? So, long-term condition is something that essentially is uncurable, something you'll live with for the rest of your life. So, great way to describe it is with some examples. So, things like diabetes, hypertension, asthma, some cancers. And so as a result, you would normally be on medication or other forms of treatment. And the reason why it's important for the Asian Resource Centre and organisations like the Croydon BME Forum to be involved in this is because there's some of these long conditions that are more prevalent in our communities. So things like diabetes and hypertension are great examples of that. We're more predisposed to them, and as a result, we need to be more aware of what we can do in order to improve our health, in order to reduce our risk of getting them. So in order to do that, we do it using a two-pronged approach, really. One is delivering health checks out in the community. So those health checks involve having your blood pressure taken, having your pulse measured, check for arterial fibrillation, to check if you've got a regular heartbeat or not. And then at the end, with all your results, including a little bit of some basic history questions about your family background, we tell you what your diabetes risk is, so your chance of getting diabetes within the next 10 years. After that, we also offer to send your results to the GP. So if you're, so we basically we've got access to GP contacts, and we can send your results to the GP to put onto your medical record. Other than that, you also get a health check card, and we recommend you come back in 6 months to be checked again. And we also provide you with information and local resources that you can use to improve your health. So we're not simply giving you the information and sending you on your way to kind of sort it out yourself. We're giving you the resources locally and predominantly for free in order to improve your health. So there'll be things like local yoga classes, that might be exercise sessions that are running locally in Central. That might be like wellness sessions, whatever it is whatever the services that you need. Cool. So the way that we access the community is we hold events. So some of those events are held independently. So we will hold our own events as well. But largely we try to jump in on events that already exist. So one of the things that we do on a regular basis is go to community spaces. So Brigstock Community Hub, is something that we go to regularly. Our lunch club, which you'll hear about a little bit later, we also go to regularly. We have a new collaboration with Pearly Masjid, where we'll be holding regular health checks, other places of worship. So we go to churches, mosques, gurudwara, mandirs. So, and we also go to like various community events. So South Norwood Festival we've been to, Croydon Mela, when it's running. But yes, plenty of other events generally that we go to. So the summer generally is a very, very busy time for us. The other thing that we've also run in the past is point of care testing, where you can have your blood sugars and your lipid levels, which tells you whether you have high cholesterol basically on site. So that's basically done while you're there. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes, and that was a great service we also ran, and we hope to run again in the future. I'm going to have to be quick here because other people need to speak. So with experience, so what I mean by experience, what kind of impact have we had on the community? We've been running this program for 4 years. We're in our 4th year now. I've been running it for 2 years. We've interacted with over 4,000 residents of Croydon, have attended hundreds of events. We collaborate with local GPs, like I said, via sending them the results, but we've also actually held events with local GP practices. Notable one is Rainbow Health Centre, who take care of people that are homeless and are asylum seekers or refugees. And we also adapt what we do based on the feedback that we get from the people that we give health checks with, and also our commissioners. That's it. Right, so I'm going to pass on to Bina now, who's going to talk about some of the stuff we do to prevent getting a long-term condition.
Can you guys hear me? Okay, I always have trouble with this. So the Pentathlon Wellbeing Programme is a programme for the whole community. It's a wellbeing, so for the whole community. So basically it is for people who have commitment issues, I say, because it's only an hour-long programme. Let me just get my notes out. So the wellbeing talks that we do, the topics are Sleep is Your Superhero, Wellbeing Lowdown, I Like to Move It, Fantastic Fibre and Its Little Friends, and Eat Well to Stay Well. These topics have been delivered to over 200 people within the Croydon Borough so far, and the most popular one is Sleep is Your Superhero. As you can imagine, we all need to sleep, and which we don't do very well apparently when we do the course, you will find out. We've had really, really good back from people that have attended our sessions. Some of you here has attended the sessions and have given really good feedback. So if you would like for us to come and do a session in your groups or for yourselves, or you'd like to join one of our sessions, please do let us know. I'll be around after the session here now. So yeah, just let me know. And I think Gifty is coming up to do the stuff on expert patient program. So Gifty, welcome.
Thank you. Hi everyone. Right, my name is Gifty and I lead on the expert patient program. And we've heard a lot from the mayor, from Rachel, from my team, from everyone. And I think we're getting tired of hearing everybody. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a shaking, if that's okay with everybody. And only if you're comfortable, though, only if you're comfortable. So what I want you to do, if you're comfortable, I just want you to sit down a little bit, Stretch yourself a little bit. And we're just going to roll our shoulders because we've just been crossing line. What is this one saying now? What's the next thing? So I just want you to move your shoulder backward and forward. Move it again, forward and back. Okay, so you do a couple of times, and then the next thing I need you to do, I need you to try and raise your arm up. Okay, just stretch it. Do as if you're saying good morning to the sun. Stretch it up, stretch it up, stretch it up. Both hands. I'm just not doing my two hands because I'm holding something else. Right, so just both hands. Okay, good. Just stretch it, stretch it. Fantastic, good. And then one of the things I want to do, only if you feel comfortable, you could stand. If you can't, just stand on your feet. And what we're going to do, I'm going to see some people's balance here now, okay? No pressure at all. So I'm going to see your balance a little bit. So what I need you to do is, I need you to try as much as possible, only if you can, just raise one of your feet up. Just hold it up, just in front of you. All right, I'll count 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put it down. If your leg shakes, don't worry. It's just part of it. All right, well, we're going to do the second one now because we've got 2 legs. You do one, you've got to do the next one. So we raise the second leg now. Just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You put it down. All right, for the benefit of those that couldn't stand, we're going to sit down and then do it. But what I need you to do when you're doing it, when you're sitting down, put your hands on your lap, and then you could feel your thighs when it's ready. This exercise is good if you've been sitting for a while and you just want to stand, and because it helps for your knees. Okay, so you put your hands on your knee, and the same thing we've just done, you try and stretch one of your legs, and then you raise it. Okay, you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you do the next one. Raise it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. I'm going to do a little bit of a magic now. Okay. This is what we call just a light meditation. We've heard a lot, and we just want to digest everything that they've said to us now. So, only if you're comfortable, I'd like you to close your eyes and take a deep breath in and then out. You breathe in and then out. Just breathe in again and then out. So now I just want you to imagine that you're just sitting by the sea. We've had a lot today. And one of the things I want you to do is begin by making yourself a little bit more comfortable on your chair, straighten your back, and then begin to let go of all the noises around you. Begin to shift your attention from inside and distract the noise in the room. Now slowly bring your attention to your legs, feeling the toes against your socks or your shoes. Just notice without any judgment. Imagine sending your breath down to your feet, as if the breath is traveling through the noise to the lungs, through the abdomen, all the way down to your feet. And then back up again, through your nose and your lungs. Perhaps you don't feel anything at all. That is fine. Just allow yourself to feel the sensation of not feeling anything at all. When you're ready, allow your feet to dissolve in your mouth. Move your attention up to your ankles, your calves, your knees, your thighs. and just observe the sensations that you're experiencing throughout your legs. You breathe into the breadth of your legs. If your mind begins to wander, gently notice this without judgment and bring back to the sensations of your breath. Now think of all the achievements ARCC has achieved this year. Think of the good things that Croydon is going to achieve the coming 4 years. Think of the new planning. Think of the houses. Think of people that have been in a vulnerable place, getting settled. Take a deep breath in. Visualize the world coming to a settled place. Visualize the peace. Visualize the gentleness. And think of Croydon as a happy place to live. You take another deep breath in and out. And in and out. And when you're comfortable, could gently bring yourself back to the room and then open your eyes. Thank you. Thanks. The secret is, when I'm giving you my slide, everybody to be asleep so nobody notices anything. So that's my secret. Okay, so Expert Patient Program, we have been training and supporting people as facilitators to manage their long-term health condition, as my colleague said. Between November and July, we have trained expert managers of 107 people so far. And these are expert managers, and they can manage their health, their condition, reading the food label, knowing what to eat, the exercise, and how important for them to drink water. And quite a number of you here have done the training, and I'm so grateful, and I'm glad, and I'm sure you're still doing what you're supposed to do. We've also done refresher courses for those that have finished it and needed a little bit of a top-up. So we've supported them with that top-up again. And all the people that we've trained, they've said marvelous things about it. And one of the things says the agreement is that I've been able to maintain the lifestyle changes like healthy eating, exercises, and increase my lifestyle changes. So we just want to say thank you to NHS for giving us the opportunity to do this. Thank you.
Thank you, Gifty, Amjid, and Bina for coming up. You never cease to amaze me with your passion and your dedication, team. Thank you for everything that you do. And Gifty always gets us moving, doesn't she? I could see your face, Mr. Mayor, when she came on. He said, I bet she's going to do something. Yeah. Thanks, Gifty. I think we're all a bit energised. I can smell food, so I know you all want to eat now. So I'm going to wrap up really quickly. Just before I do, though, last year, before I move on to the AOB section and give you an opportunity to answer some questions, last year we did get a request from our community members, and they directly approached me at the AGM, as they did many other places, I must say, and asked about our coffee morning and said, when are you going to bring this coffee morning back? Are you actually going to do it or not? And we've done it, and we've put it back, and it's bigger than ever. I'd like to share a couple of pictures just in the background for you to see some of the things we've been getting up to. So we did secure a little bit of money, tiddly amount, from Croydon Culture bid, and we just got a tiny bit of money from the Winter Engagement Fund as well. And that's why we've been able to do some pretty big coffee mornings, and we've celebrated things like I am Croydonian, so what it means to be Croydonian as an Asian community member or an ethnic minority, or anyone, to be frank, and our connection to Croydon, and that was done with in partnership with Croydon Museum. We also are celebrating Diwali, which is our next one, our next coffee morning. So I want to use this opportunity to invite you all, actually, on the 28th at the CVA Resource Centre is our Diwali coffee morning, so please do come along. And that's a couple of, oh, that's a little word cloud that came up at the coffee morning. And people said that's how they felt, basically, about Croydon. So it's diverse, it's friendly, it's loving, it's caring, it's beautiful. There's green spaces, there's good transport, there's great sense of community. A couple of things like decaying, which isn't a great thing. Some people did say they're just about surviving, and I think it's really important for us to look at some of the stuff that we need to improve on and be able to do it as enablers and change makers. So that's about the coffee morning. It's time for AOB. So this gives you an opportunity to ask us any questions. Usually our chair would be hosting the AOB section, but today I am, and thank you, Mr. Chair, for allowing me to do that. So do you have any questions from the public? Everyone's just hungry. You can smell the food, aren't you? This is great. That's the best thing to do. You know what they used to do? I used to work in Tesco's a long time ago, right, when I was a student. And they used to put, yeast or wheat, something in the air conditioning or the vents or near it, so you could smell it as you go past the bakery. And you go there, you can't walk past, you literally walk into the bakery. And that's what we've done. We've put a little bit of curry sauce in the background and timed it so that you're going to be really hungry by this point and not ask us any questions. But if you do have any questions, welcome to ask, and we're quite happy to answer. If I don't have the answer, we'll get back to you. I'll give you last opportunity. No? Great. So that's the end of our formal business, and I would like to bring on our trustee, a new trustee, Samina Khan, to come and do the vote of thanks, and then indeed you can rush to the buffet that's up there.
Hello everyone, I'd just like to say thank you so much for joining ARCC today to commend us and support us with all the hard work that's delivered by the team members into the community. We'd like to thank Grand Sapphire for the beautiful venue and Spice Village for their food. As you can smell it, I'm sure you're all getting hungry. And we would also like to thank all our trustees and board members, our guests today, Mr. Mayor, Rachel, Immigration, and our founder members, Ghazala Mirza and Chandra Babu, who have joined us, who have seen this vision of ARCC as it unfolds, as each one of us attempt to bring new things. And we hope you'll support us in all our initiatives going forward. I won't delay you to go and get lunch, so please enjoy. Thank you.
Just bearing some gifts for our speakers today. Yeah. So Sabina, if you wouldn't mind just handing gifts to the Mayor, Rachel, Sahel and Jatinder.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right, and that concludes business. Please enjoy the food, and thank you so much for supporting us this year, and I look forward to your support next year too. Thank you.